In the next set of flashcards, we'll cover the most important concepts, from ozone science and environmental regulations to recovery practices and system basics. Stratospheric ozone. Stratospheric ozone is the ozone layer in the stratosphere that protects the Earth from UVB radiation. If it is depleted, it increases the risk of skin cancer, cataracts, and reduces crop yields. This layer lies 10 to 30 kilometers above the Earth's surface and absorbs most UVB and UVC radiation. Ozone depletion also affects the growth of plants and marine ecosystems. Chlorine. Chlorine is the element in CFCs and HCFCs that destroys ozone in the stratosphere. One chlorine atom can destroy up to 100,000 ozone molecules before being deactivated. Chlorine is very stable in the atmosphere, lasting for decades, and does not dissolve in water or break down easily, which makes its ozone-depleting effect long-lasting. ODP, ozone depletion potential, is a measure of how much a substance can destroy ozone compared to CFC11. ODP equals 1.0. CFCs have high ODP, HCFCs medium, HFCs 0. For example, R12 has ODP equals 1.0, R22 approximately 0.05, R134A equals 0. Even with ODP equals 0, these substances may still have high GWP and contribute to global warming. GWP, global warming potential, compares the global warming impact of a gas to CO2. Baseline GWP equals 1. For example, R600A has very low GWP, approximately 3, R410A, approximately 2,000, R404A, approximately 3,900. GWP is typically measured over a 100-year time horizon. Fluorocarbons can have GWPs thousands of times higher than CO2. The Montreal Protocol. The Montreal Protocol, signed in 1987, is the international treaty that phased out ozone-depleting substances such as CFCs and HCFCs. It set a schedule for elimination, for example. CFCs banned in 1996. HCFCs, like R22, fully banned in 2020. This treaty is the foundation for U.S. environmental laws such as the Clean Air Act. Clean Air Act. The Clean Air Act sets strict penalties for illegal refrigerant venting. Violations can result in fines of up to $44,539 per day per violation. The law applies to all refrigerants with high GWP, including HFCs. It is the main legal basis for EPA Section 608 regulations. Venting prohibition. The venting prohibition makes it illegal to intentionally release CFCs, HCFCs, or HFCs into the atmosphere. Only certain natural substances such as carbon dioxide, nitrogen, or hydrocarbons are exempt. The prohibition applies in all activities: maintenance, repair, disposal, and charging of systems. SNAP program. The SNAP program, Significant New Alternatives Policy, is an EPA program that evaluates and approves safer refrigerant substitutes. It considers ODP, GWP, flammability, and toxicity. SNAP is continuously updated and classifies substitutes as acceptable or unacceptable. Recovery cylinders. Recovery cylinders are special tanks for storing recovered refrigerant. They have a gray body and yellow top. They must not be filled beyond 80% of their volume to avoid explosion risk due to thermal expansion. All recovery cylinders must be clearly labeled as recovered refrigerant. System-dependent recovery. System-dependent recovery is a method that relies on the system's own pressure to remove refrigerant without the use of external recovery equipment. It is only legal for systems with a charge of 15 pounds or less. This method is usually applied to small appliances like household refrigerators or small air conditioners. Recovery, recycle, and reclaim. Recovery means removing refrigerant from a system. Recycling means filtering and removing moisture and oil so it can be reused immediately. Reclaim means completely processing and returning the refrigerant to new product specifications in an EPA-certified facility. Recovery is performed in the field, while reclaim requires laboratory analysis and EPA certification. 500 microns evacuation. 500 microns evacuation is the minimum vacuum level required before charging a system. This ensures removal of moisture and non-condensable gases. If not achieved, leftover moisture can freeze in the expansion valve or create acid that damages the compressor. Gauge manifold set. A gauge manifold set is the basic tool for measuring system pressures. Blue equals low pressure, compound gauge, can also read vacuum. Red equals high pressure. Yellow equals service hose. It is an essential instrument for monitoring and servicing refrigeration systems. Compressor function. The compressor is the component that compresses low-pressure refrigerant vapor into high-pressure vapor. The refrigerant enters as low-pressure superheated vapor and exits as high-pressure, high-temperature vapor. The compressor is considered the heart of the refrigeration system, maintaining refrigerant circulation. R22 phase-out. R22, an HCFC, has been banned from production and import since 2020 due to its high ODP. There is no legal drop-in substitute for R22. Older systems must be retrofitted to use more environmentally friendly refrigerants. That's the end of this core section flashcard review. Keep practicing, review often, and stay updated with refrigerant regulations. Download the EPA Prep app to access the full practice tests.